Hey, Brian Sullivan, founder of Precise Selling with your weekly video tip. Now, I got off the phone with a guy this morning who called me out of the blue and he said, Sully, you got a minute? I said, sure, what do you got? He said, hey, I need some advice going into 2021. 2020 was a little wacky. My market was a little off. My territory was cut. My quota was still high. And it was like misery coming out of this guy's mouth. And I asked a question of him. I said, all right, so what type of rep you want to be? He said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, it's simple. There's really three types of reps at all times, even more now than ever. Type number one is the retreater. The retreater is somebody who kind of liked 2020 because they had an excuse to kind of get in a bubble. Didn't have to make as many calls. Didn't have to study as much. Didn't have to reach out to as many people. That was kind of nice and cozy. The retreater going into 2021 will be unemployed by the end of the year. I said, so you want to be the retreater? He said, no, I like a job. I said, okay, forget the retreater. Number two, we've got sort of the laybacker. The laybacker isn't retreating, but you know what they're doing? They're going to wait things out a little bit, wait for COVID to kind of go away. Damn, that vaccine's really going to help my sales territory. And they're just sort of chilling. In other words, they're not proactive. They're victims of circumstance. And by December 31st, 2021, they're going to say, oh my God, what happened? I didn't have a very good year. Yeah, you know why? Because you were just chilling. So you can't just lay back in business. You're either moving forward or back. But you're never just plateauing. So I said, you want to be that guy? He said, no, I'd like to have a job starting next year, 2022. I said, oh, you can't be that. I said, so what's the third? The third is somebody who's in full attack mode right now. Full attack mode. And what do I mean by full attack mode? You know what a full attack mode sales rep is doing right now, early January? Number one, they've determined they're going to work longer hours than they ever did in their life. They will set the alarm a little bit earlier and they will stay at the office, even if it's a home office, longer than they ever did. Simple. Attack mode means work longer. Attack mode number two, make more sales calls. Activity levels died in 2020. Let's step these things up to pre-COVID levels. Heck, let's blow them away. You want to go attack mode? Make more calls than you're making right now. And I don't care if your manager told you you're supposed to make 10 calls. Make 15. Number three, let's waste less time. You only have a specific amount of hours throughout the day where you can do high value or low value activity. Push the low value activity aside and think, what's the stuff that's making me and my company money? Spend time there. Next, perfect your craft. To be a great attack salesperson, you got to have more knowledge and skill than the competition. So whether it's a new sales skill, a negotiation skill, maybe it's reading a new book, maybe it's studying that product that you haven't felt so comfortable with. Carve out 30 to 60 minutes each week to do nothing but study. Perfect your knowledge and skill. Next, attack mode means meet more people. Your greatest asset are your friendships. Friendships not only socially, but friendships at your places of work, your clients. If you know one or two people, have them introduce you to 4 or 5 more. Go deeper and wider in every company you work with. The guy and gal who have the most friends out there in the marketplace is the guy and gal who crushes their quota. And lastly, I want you to attack this. I want you to become an expert in one category. In other words, I want you to think right now, is there some process or something my company isn't doing great? How about you come up with the solution? How about you become the expert in that solution? Guess what's going to happen? They're going to have you present the next virtual meeting. Heck, they may have you present at the next virtual national sales meeting because you found a problem, you came up with a solution, and you became the expert in that solution. You see, there's no retreating in 2021. There's no hanging back, wait for the vaccine. Right now, you're either dying or you're crushing it, and the only way you do that is let's go into attack mode. So, I hope you like this week's Precise Motivation. I'll tell you what, I'm fired up just doing it. So, we'll see you next week for your next Precise Selling tip.